Peace, 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 brothers and sisters of Shu Amun Ra. This is part 2 of walking the life through the religious world and trying to find yourself. So, brothers and sisters, this is part 2 of walking a life of the religious world and trying to find yourself. A real talk moment. In part 1, I was in a discussion of going through several different backgrounds, and some I tasted it a little bit, some I just, got read about it, documents about it, watching documents. I always allowed my inner spirit to be able to guide me when it came into the religious belief system, because I knew in an early age that being a Jehovah's Witness was not the way to be. We was in a Jehovah's Witness at the age of, I was in kindergarten, but I knew and understood. But I knew that system was not for me. If it works for you, it is for you, but it's not for me. So, as I said in part 1, let's pray to all due respects to the Creator. The sun rises. Or Ashe. Hotep. Good morning. This is part 2, real talk moment of walking the life of finding your religious belief. It's just being real about it, brothers. It's just walking the life of the religious world and trying to find yourself, rather. It's just basically what you're doing. You gotta allow yourself to just flow naturally. Sometimes people flow with, usually you got a lot of, the Hebrewites system has grown over the years because it's a psychological power. It's like dealing with a Christian, but you're not a Christian, but it gives you a sense of black pride. If you believe that you're a Hebrew Israelite, that's a beautiful thing. And if it flows with who your true self is, then you be a Hebrew Israelite. If you believe you're supposed to be a Moor, be a Moor. If you believe you're supposed to be Islam, be Islam. If you believe that you're supposed to be a Nuwapian, be a Nuwapian. Whatever you believe. Now I am. A lot of you see me with Kemetic, what you call Egypt. I knew, but I didn't have the evidence at the time. I knew I was Kemetic because my spirit would not allow me to attach itself to none of the other religious belief systems or spiritual systems. I'm not saying that to throw shades. It's just that's how I walked. I walked and allowed my spirit to sense aside and feel it out. See, when I was Jehovah's Witness, I was engineered. I was pushed there. I didn't like it. Was my spirit went against it many different times. I can remember, clear as day. My spirit went against the Kingdom Hall. I asked questions. My mom used to get totally upset about it. You understand? It was like, it just wasn't for me. By the time I became a teenager, about between 15, 16 years old, that was the end of that. But what happened was I was still installed the Bible system, reading the Bible constantly and knowing the scriptures constantly. So certain things I got rid of and certain things I knew was necessary to have as we walk through this lifestyle. Because that's all it is, a journey. So by the time I got that out of my system, Now I'm a full-blown grown man. See, a grown man is a man that handles his responsibilities. Understand? You're not a God yet because you haven't come out of that man's state of mind. A God is a person who grew psychologically, mentally, financially, and understands the way of life. All you're doing is elevate your consciousness of what you need to do through your journey. That's what that's about. When people say, do you have godlike powers? Absolutely you do got godlike powers, because you can think and you create. If you got a child, you just created a life. See, understand what people are constantly trying to tell you, because you're thinking of a lower self of yourself. You're thinking like a man. You're supposed to think like a god. Gods is nothing but immortal men on earth. That's all you is. Gods are nothing but immortal men on earth. Now it depends on the level while you're on this earth, what you're seeking. No one's better than no one, but everyone is better than each other. Peep the game. A lot of people don't know about that. Some people took other people's ideas and created their own institution because they like what they was into, but they probably outgrew it. And when you outgrew an institution, a lot of times you form another organization, because there's a possibility the people didn't want to hear what you got to say. They didn't believe in your opinion. They also wanted to keep the original format of the organization. But same thing with churches and all different kinds of institutions. You'll get one or two people who will disagree as they elevate their mindset. So they decide to change it and go another route. The question is it better or is it worse? And this is what it's all about here on your journey. Now, as I said to you before, brothers and sisters, because I came out of the tutelage of the Jehovah's Witness, and then I started bouncing around from different churches, and I started finding out that just was not for me. Okay, Christian church, Baptist church, you know what I mean? It just wasn't for me. Till probably now about 11 years ago. Yeah, it's about 11 years ago. 11 years ago, a young man came to me with a DVD. The DVD was called The Hidden Colors, but it wasn't like this one. It was a bootleg, if you will. And I can share with it. I ain't gonna do all that. But anyways, it was a bootleg. Those who know what a bootleg is, you know what it is. I ain't got to go through all that. But it was called Hidden Colors by a masterful film director, Tariq Nasheed. He created this DVD. He has 5 of them, and I have all 5. When I seen that video, about 10, 11 years ago, when I seen that video, my life completely changed. I started digging in, because the names that was telling, and the people that was giving the information in Hidden Colors, the untold history of people of the Aboriginal, Moor, and African descent. See, once you start to touch the light, ain't no light at the end of the tunnel, it's all around you. That whole concept, the light is at the end of the tunnel. The light is all around you. It's when you're gonna touch it, so you can come out of the darkness. I'm gonna see y'all in part 3, the beginning of my travels of understanding who I am. I'm sure I'm in Ra, and this is walking through life of the religious world and trying to find yourself.